Hey guys, it's Mr. Cram. The video this week for your play challenge, it's a little bit longer than normal. I'm just going to tell you what to expect. So when you sit down to watch this thing, we have a plan. So we're going to make some paper airplanes today, okay? That's step one. We're going to learn how to make these things. Okay. Step two, we're actually going to measure using our own feet how far our airplanes fly. All right. And then lastly, we're actually going to create a really quick bar graph to show which plane went the farthest. So I hope you guys enjoy this challenge and good luck. Hey guys, it's Mr. Cram, and the reality is a lot of kids don't know how to make a paper airplane these days, so I'm going to show you. And for this play challenge this week, we actually have to make two. So I'm going to do one airplane, and then I'll do the same airplane again, but I'm going to change it just a little bit. So anyways, paper. It was called a hot dog fold. Now, it's actually really important that you line up the edges, because if you don't, your airplane will not be balanced. So I hold it once I got them lined up, and I kind of just press it down. Okay, and once that's done, I'm going to open this up. I'm going to take this corner, I'm going to fold it and line it up right with the edge. Really slowly, carefully. There we go. Press that down. So you get a fold that looks like that. Okay. Do the exact same thing on the other side. Okay. Press that down. So we've got this lovely shape right here, okay? Now, lie it flat. And now I'm going to take this outside edge right here, and I'm going to make it touch the fold on the inside. So really, I'm just going to slowly bend it like that. Bend it until it lines up. And I'm not really going to fold it until it's lined up really well. And once it is, I press it down. So really, I just made the nose just a lot more pointier. So, same thing on the other side, really slowly. And now, if I did it right, and I did, it should look the same on both sides. It's called being symmetrical. Okay, line down the middle, it's the same over here, same over here, and that's good. So, once that's the case, I'm going to close this up. Give it a good smooth down, and now this edge of the wing is going to fold down and touch. It's going to line up perfectly with the bottom edge here. So, got to kind of do this really slowly. Taking it, I'm just kind of folding it down like this, really slowly. And once it's parallel, once it's lined up with the edge below it, I'm going to flatten it out. So you see this here? This edge of the wing lines up perfectly with the edge down at the bottom of the plane. Now I'm going to flip it on that wing, and I'm going to do the exact same thing really slowly, because I don't want to mess up the wings. If you do, you throw your airplane and it's going to do this weird kind of like twirly thing. You don't need that in your life. So here we go. That's my paper airplane, all right? And now when I throw this thing, I kind of want to hold it up front a little bit like this and throw it up. Throw it up. Don't throw it straight, throw it up. Give it a little bit of lift, okay? Now, this is the first one you're going to make, all right? So it's pointy, watch out, no one's standing in front of you when you throw this thing. Now, I'm going to actually label that on the wing. I'll label that plane number 1. There we go. Okay, now, I'm going to do the exact same thing for plane number 2, only I'm going to make one small change. So, I'm going to go through this a little bit faster since you know how to do it. Fold it. Now, this is where I am. I've got the nice pointy nose. And normally I would close this up and make the wings, but I'm going to do one other thing first. I'm actually going to take this nose, I'm going to bend it forward and have it line up perfectly here. And I'm going to do, I don't know, maybe about 2 inches. It doesn't really matter. Just make a bend somewhere. And so before you press it down, make sure the nose, the pointy part, is lined up with that center crease. So it's going to be like that, okay? And then I'm just going to kind of squeeze it like that. All right. Now, it's going to be a little bit harder now to fold it closed, but you can. So, same airplane, only I fold the nose inside. And now I'm going to lay that down. I'm going to flatten it out. And I've got this weird shape here. Actually, I just created a trapezoid because, check it out. Got parallel lines on the side, only one set of them, and then this one and this one are not parallel. It's quadrilateral with only one set of parallel sides. I never noticed that before. Cool. Okay, anyways, same deal. To make the wings, this edge up top is going to fold and hit the edge on the bottom, and it's going to line up perfectly. I don't want any space between them. And I'm actually going to press down on my nose here to help fold that, because it's a lot of paper. Fold. Once I got that, flip it over, press, and fold. All right, so now I've got same airplane, only I've got my nose that is bent back. All right, so awesome. I'm ready to go. I'm actually going to label that plane number 2. All right. All right, guys, I want to figure out how far my airplanes actually travel, and to do that, I'm going to create a bar graph, which is super easy to do. I'm going to write right on this table because I can wash it off, and it's actually kind of fun to write on tables. If I were you, I'd just use normal paper. But start by making an L. The bigger, the better. And then this is going to be our x-axis, and up top here, see if you guys can see that, this is our y-axis. Why am I going so high? Easy way to remember it. So, I'm going to have planes over here, and I'm going to have the distance traveled down here. So I'll call this plane 1. I'll call this plane 2. Now, I don't know how far these things are going to go. I guess I'm going to go ahead and, you know what, I'm going to make this a little bit longer, just in case my planes are awesome. I'll start with 0, and I guess I'll count by 5s. That seems like a pretty easy way to do it. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And again, that's my x-axis. So, all right, I'm ready to go. So basically, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to chuck these things, and I'm going to use my own feet to count them, because it's faster and they're attached to me. And if I use my feet for plane 1 and I use my feet for plane 2, I'm using the same unit of measurement for each one, and that will be accurate in terms of telling me which one goes the farthest. So let's go outside, chuck these things as far as we can, and see how far they go. Okay, guys, I came outside because when I throw my airplanes and I start to measure how far it is, I want it to be in a straight line, and I realize if I do that in my classroom, there's going to be like desks and tables in the way. I don't want that. So I'm going to stand at the same spot every single time I throw, and then basically I'm going to walk heel toe and measure out how many of my feet it takes to get basically to where my plane lands. So check it out. Here we go. It's a little windy. I don't know how this is going to go. All right. All right. Not bad. Now I'm going to pace this out, okay? Heel toe all the way. Let's see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, for that throw, I got 32 of my feet. That was airplane number 1. Now I'm going to go ahead and do airplane number 2. All right, I'm going to start at the exact same spot. Okay, that totally hit a tree. I'm going to try again. Okay, just going to pace it out. I don't know if you guys can see where that landed. There we go. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
Okay, with that throw, I got 33. It's kind of weird they were so close together, but this one with the weird nose actually made it 1 foot longer than that one. So let me take you inside and show you how to graph this out real quick. Okay, guys, we're back in now. That was pretty cool. They went actually about the same distance. Now, if I had more time, I would actually throw each one a couple of times and take maybe the farthest throw for each one. But for the sake of this video, just did one throw apiece. Now, plane 1, that went 32 of my feet. Now, I don't see 32 on here, but I do see 30, and I do see 35. I know 32 lives in there, so I think 32 probably right about here. So I'm going to go up and find plane 1, and I'm going to make a line where 32 is. I'm going to make a bar all the way out. And I can see plane 1 traveled 32 feet. Now, plane 2, that made it 33 feet. Now, it's not much farther, but it is farther. So I'm going to go ahead, trace it right up, and make that bar for plane 2. So I just created a bar graph. Now, looking at this graph, I can see that the planes basically traveled pretty much the same distance. You know, if I really look close at it, you know, if I take a straight edge, I can see, sorry about the bell, I can see the edge comes down here, and it's, you know, this one is actually just a little bit farther. But that's why I like bar graphs. You can look right at them, and it tells you a picture of what just happened. And it's really easy to tell from the picture, you know, which plane is the best, which is the worst, or, you know, if they're both the same, like this. Now, again, if I had done a bunch of throws for each plane and taken the farthest, maybe plane 2, and my best throw would come out to, like, I don't know, like 43, right? And maybe this was the best throw for plane 1, maybe 32 was the best, but I can see then that plane 2 would be the superior plane. So anyways, I want you guys to take your planes outside. I want you to do some throws. Use your feet to measure it, heel toe, and then turn into a real quick graph where we have distance on the x-axis and then the airplanes on the y-axis. And if you want, bring in the graph. I'd love to see it. So good luck, guys. I'll look forward to seeing you next week.